From rescue to forever home, a Saskatoon firefighter adopts the dog he saved. Retail Row, how local retailers are flipping the script to compete with online competitors. And a ferocious flu season. Health officials urging Canadians to protect themselves ahead of holiday get-togethers.
This is CTV News with Chantel Saunders.
Good evening. Chantel is away this week. We start tonight with a heartwarming end to a dramatic dog rescue on the South Saskatchewan River earlier this month. A Saskatoon firefighter now has a new best friend after pulling him out of the icy waters. Keenan Sorokon has the details.
Meet Striker, the curious 3-year-old pup who's become the newest unofficial member of the Saskatoon Fire Department. Striker is thriving now, but was on thin ice nearly 2 weeks ago.
We tried calling out to him, and he's just sitting in the middle of the river, just shivering and scared and not moving from his spot.
On December 12th, fire crews were called to the University Bridge to rescue a dog on the middle of the river as temperatures dipped below -30. It was Nathaniel Crone who managed to get a leash around the dog's collar, get him on the boat, and safely bring him back to shore.
You can tell he's a good boy, and he cuddled up to me right away, and I want a good lap dog, so... Yeah, I fell in love with him instantly.
Crone took that as a sign. After growing up around animals, he says he always wanted one of his own. Once the crew made it to the fire hall, animal shelter was called, but no one claimed the dog. So Crone stepped up, adopted him, and named him Striker after the boat used to rescue him.
He's getting more confident. He's walking well. There's a lot of training that still has to get done, but yeah, he's behaving really well. And he's made himself right at home. Battalion Chief Dwayne Jobson says Striker has fit in well at the station.
It was extremely cold that day. The dog was in a little bit of a danger, so it turned out to be a nice, safe rescue.
A rescue that ended with a new best friend.
Given the circumstance, I'm still obviously a very scary moment for him, but very happy moment for us too.
Keenan Sorokon, CTV News, Saskatoon.
An 11-year-old boy has died as a result of a carbon monoxide leak in a Regina apartment building Friday night. Jacob Carr explains how the boy's parents are looking for answers as to how this happened and the investigation that is currently underway.
The parents of Henry Losco are searching for answers after the 11-year-old died on Friday night due to a carbon monoxide leak in their apartment building. Losco's father, Sergio, and mother, Marina Hills, both say a carbon monoxide alarm did not go off during the incident.
I don't know if there's been some on the other stores, but nobody, if it's been, or it was unearthed, or nobody can check for the other apartment. And now my son is gone. I need to know why.
Hills recounts coming home from work and finding Sergio on the floor, struggling for breath before finding Henry in his room. Hills says a neighbor called 911 while she attempted to revive him. Emergency responders arrived quickly, but it was too late for Henry. He was pronounced dead at the scene. Hills says all occupants of the building were forced to evacuate, and she was allowed back inside after a few hours.
There was about 7 or 8 police, and they just sat in the hallway and they all cried. Oh, they all cried. And I just told them how beautiful my son was, and I kissed him and I kissed him, and I couldn't stop kissing him.
Regina Fire Chief Lane Jackson says there is an ongoing investigation following the incident, but the cause of the leak was found to be a piece of service equipment that was being repaired at the time.
The investigators and some technical experts are still examining very carefully that piece of equipment to determine what failed with it and the nature of that failure.
Hills says she will not be going back to their apartment building and doesn't know where she and Sergio, who is currently being treated for carbon monoxide poisoning, will live now.
I don't know where I'm going to go. I have to try to bury my son, and they want me to pick a funeral home, and I don't even know which one to pick.
Hills also saying she is grateful that she was allowed to say one final goodbye to her son before investigators took over, adding his name was Henry Benjamin Losco and he was only 11 years old. Jacob Carr, CTV News, Regina.
Members of Ochapowace First Nation and surrounding communities are grieving the loss of a young life. As Mick Fable reports, a boy's sudden death over the weekend is now under investigation.
RCMP are investigating after a preteen boy was found dead on Old Chapel Nation Saturday night. According to police, the boy left a home on foot around 5 p.m., moving from one residence to another, but he never made it to his destination. The boy's body was found by someone passing by just before 8 p.m., located several hundred meters from the original residence. An autopsy is needed to confirm a cause of death, but at this time it is not being considered suspicious. RCMP cannot confirm if the death is related to an animal mauling, weather conditions, or if another element was a factor. The Office of Chief and Counsel has released a statement extending their condolences to the boy's family, saying, "This was a horrific incident that has deeply shaken our community and is especially devastating at this time of the year." Adding, "We hold the family, their loved ones, and those who came upon this tragic scene in our prayers. They are also offering mental health and crisis supports for anyone who needs it." Because the cause of death has not been determined, RCMP are asking the public to refrain from any vigilant acts towards animals. The Ochapowace Nation also says information will be prepared on measures to help prevent future incidents like this. Mick Fable, CTV News, near the Ochapowace Nation.
Well, Jeff, it is definitely going to be a white Christmas here with some very cold temperatures to match the scenery.
Yes, well, goodness knows, maybe not quite as cold as we experienced last weekend, but it will still be colder than seasonal, no question about it, Jeremy. And the timing of this snow has sort of changed a little bit since we last were together on Friday. But the snow that we got today, not a surprise. We expected there to be snow on Monday, and it came and it went, and now it's into Manitoba, ultimately making its way into northern Ontario. But what is on its way, probably for Christmas Eve for some locations. Some places it's going to skip over and not be a situation with snowfall until Boxing Day. But what about Christmas Day itself? We'll tell you that later on.
Thank you, Jeff. The Saskatchewan Serious Incident Response Team was on the scene following the execution of a warrant in a Saskatoon home this weekend. Members of the Tactical Support Unit at a residential property in the 1500 block of Rayner Avenue Friday night. According to SPS, a member discharged their firearm, which resulted in a 25-year-old man being transported to hospital, where he's believed to be in stable condition. One of the busiest shopping seasons of the year is now in high gear, and while many shoppers are clicking add to cart, there's been a shift that has been taking place for several years that is changing how people buy. As Carla Shinkaruk reports, the idea that retail is dead isn't exactly true. It's just been reinvented.
Inside Bill's House of Flowers on Broadway, Chantel Pulak gets to escape the winter in this sweet-smelling oasis. She's been doing this for about 20 years and says the way her customers shop has been changing for a while.
Most of the times when people are coming into our store, they're looking for connection. Really, they're looking for a conversation.
That shift lines up with what marketing experts are seeing in the retail industry, with shoppers looking for more of an experience.
Retail is not dead, it's changing.
This expert from the University of Saskatchewan says many stores have adapted by making the in-store experience faster, easier, and more convenient.
Normally on the customer journey, you start on your phone, but a lot of sales are still made in store. It's a bit of a false thing to say online versus e-commerce. They've kind of blurred into one.
He says places like Sephora have blended online efficiency with a storefront, and at Lululemon they have staff completing sales on smartphones with customers as they walk around the store.
You found the stuff you want, it's been pleasurable, and all of a sudden you've got the pain point of paying. And everyone hates a long line up at the till. So if someone can do it and make it painless and quick, you leave happy.
Smell them every time.
For Pulak, the change has also meant seeing customers who are more informed than ever before.
There's so many options of videos, DIY videos, and it's like, come acquire the product, give it a shot.
So while online shopping continues to grow, brick and mortar stores like this one are still finding ways to bloom. The reasons may be even more simple.
The connections that we have with our customers really kind of builds us up.
She's well aware also that her business has an added drawing card.
I think we're super lucky already with people wanting to come into the store and smell the flowers.
Carla Shinkaruk, CTV News, Saskatoon.
A number of postal workers and community allies braved the frigid temperatures on Saturday for a rally. The event marked 1 year since Canada Post workers were ordered back to work by the federal government, while Canada Post and the Canadian Union of Postal Workers have reached agreements in principle ahead of the holiday season. Those at the rally say they're frustrated to not have a contract after a year of negotiations. But workers may finally have some good news following that rally. Word today that Canada Post and the Postal Workers Union have reached a tentative agreement. The two sides finalized the deal after reaching a deal in principle last month. The deal, pending ratification votes set for early 2026, includes higher wage increases, enhanced benefits, and a weekend parcel delivery model. Both sides have promised not to engage in any strike or lockout activity during the ratification process. A new study is gearing up to begin in the new year, aimed to investigate the mental health of Saskatoon firefighters and their family members. Hallie Mandrick has that story.
After spending the last 22 years as a firefighter, Joel McNair understands the toll the job can take.
So in 2015, I was diagnosed with PTSD. I spent a better part of a year off. I spent about a year back, and then I went off again and ended up in a treatment center for 57 days for alcohol use disorder and PTSD.
McNair is now working to improve mental health resources as a part of a joint study between the University of Saskatchewan and the Saskatoon Fire Department.
What I hope to see is a really good understanding of how our membership is doing so that we and management from the fire department can advocate for better training, better resources for the mental health of our staff.
McNair is now recruiting his colleagues to take part in a series of surveys organized by the university's Department of Psychiatry, which will include both firefighters and their family members to better understand the effectiveness of tools which are currently in place to help SFD members in dealing with trauma.
So far, everybody's been really supportive and understanding and thinks it's a good idea. And we can also get as many people involved in this study as possible so we get a really good understanding, a picture of what's going on at the fire department.
Tentatively scheduled to begin in January, the study will start with participants completing a written survey.
And then there will be about a 6-week period where they're going to run focus groups, where in-person guided conversations. So the survey will give a broad view of how the department is doing, and then the focus groups will give a really in-depth understanding of what's going on.
Hallie Mandrick, CTV News, Saskatoon.
A retired NHLer has been given the green light to bring his horse-drawn carriage business to Saskatoon. As Allison Bamford explains, it's part of a greater passion that the hockey player has leaned on in dark times.
Pretty hungry. Extra bales for the horses on days when it's extra cold.
That's a little chilly, hey?
Rich Pilon spends hours caring for his animals, feeding, grooming, and training.
Right now with the young horses, it's getting them to pull their own weight.
Pilon played 15 years in the NHL, almost entirely for the New York Islanders, retiring in 2001.
Yeah.
Now he runs his own horse-drawn carriage business.
That was kind of our hobby and pastime was horses. So I've grown up around the horses pretty much since I've been a little guy.
For 2 years, he's cut through red tape trying to get a business license in Saskatoon.
You've spoken here before.
This week, he was finally approved for a temporary permit.
It's an amazing thing that I get to do and be part of. As much as I'm getting paid to be there, it's still amazing to see that these people are having such a good time.
More than that, Pilon says this is how he heals. Finding purpose in the routine.
There's an accountability and a commitment from me to them that if I'm not there to feed them, then they don't eat.
Pilon is open about his struggles with mental health, addictions, and attempted suicide. 4 years ago, he formed Horses and Hockey Let's Talk to support youth in northern Saskatchewan. These horses have traveled across the province, helping Pilon promote his mental health initiatives. Kids can learn about his story, play hockey, and interact with the animals.
It's to basically give them a break from their real life and hopefully, like I said, fill their cup with joy. They get to have some fun.
A gift these horses give Pilon every day that he hopes to pass forward. Allison Bamford, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Hey, guys.
A longtime Saskatchewan MP is wrapping up his tenure as Canada's High Commissioner to the United Kingdom.
And that assignment is just about to come to an end. And Pam and I are heading back home to Saskatchewan in Canada.
Ralph Goodale moving away from the position he's held since 2021, saying it's been a wonderful 5 years in London. Prior to becoming High Commissioner, Goodale was a longtime Liberal Member of Parliament in Regina, Wascana, holding office from 1993 to 2019. Holiday shopping has prompted an increase in online fraud. Financial institutions say people are in a rush to finalize gift purchases and may not be as vigilant in conducting online transactions. One Regina family is in the midst of trying to recover $5,000 lost to a fraudster. Wayne Mantica reports.
Pamela Pradell thought it was a hoax when she received email notifications that money had been e-transferred from the family bank account.
I logged in and I'm like, our account's just fine. Like, it's okay. So we've gotten those emails before that were spam, so we didn't think anything of it.
Days later, more e-transfers took place, totaling about $5,000. That's when they went to their BMO branch.
We had to wait till Monday to contact the bank. We changed our bank cards. We did all of that.
Canada's Ombudsman for Banking has investigated and found the Pradells at fault for not immediately notifying their bank of the e-transfer notifications.
It's hard because this was money my dad had left me before he died, and so some of that's gone.
Computer security experts say fraudsters have several ways of accessing banking information.
Let's say, for example, you were on a list. Let's say you used your email to log into a site for baking recipes or something like that, right? And you've got an email to get in there. Those websites may have been compromised and their database may have been hacked, and you're now on a list, your email, along with your commonly used password. And because people use the same password for a lot of different things, if it worked for this one, maybe it'll work for that. So
Connexus Credit Union was not involved in this case, but warned its customers about an increase in online fraud during the busy holiday shopping season.
There's all types of scams always happening. Something we've heard about just recently is fraudsters impersonating for your financial institution or perhaps a major streaming platform and indicating that your payment information has expired or isn't working and asking you to provide them your credit card information.
The Pradell family is now working with the RCMP to track down its money. It's been determined that the e-transfer went to a digital bank account, with police trying to determine where in the world that may be. Wayne Mantica, CTV News, Regina.
Still to come, catching up with Saskatoon's police chief for the year in review at the Saskatoon Police Service. Also, flu season is kicking into high gear across the country with pleas from health officials to get protected. Watching CTV News live from downtown Saskatoon. Thank you for staying with us. It is the busiest travel time of the year as Canadians from across the country head out on vacation or to visit family and friends. But it appears there is one destination that's still getting the cold shoulder. CTV's Scott Hurst reports.
During the holiday season, Toronto Pearson, Canada's busiest airport, is expecting more than 3 million passengers, so it'll likely be very busy. It is a similar story at airports right across the country, both big and small, but as the year comes to a close, one glaring travel trend stands out.
We have boycotted traveling to the States.
Travel to the United States continues to take a hit. In October, according to new data from StatsCan, the number of Canadians returning on trips from the U.S. was down more than 26% year over year. Political turmoil with the current U.S. administration erupted soon after Donald Trump returned to the White House, and he began poking fun at America's northern neighbor and attacking Canada's sovereignty. It is a trend that has remained consistent for much of the year, Canadians saying no to popular U.S. travel hotspots.
A lot of concern going forward about who is going to be traveling and will they be traveling back to the U.S., and time will only tell. But at this point, definitely I'm seeing a reduction in crowds and people and lineups and reservations and anything like that.
It is a similar story for Canadians traveling south of the border back by car. Return trips by Canadian residents from the U.S. on land declined more than 30% to 1.6 million in October. Here's one category that has turned around. Trips to Canada by U.S. residents has increased for the first time in 8 months. Scott Hurst, CTV News, Toronto.
Doctors are urging Canadians to get vaccinated for influenza as soon as possible, as this country is experiencing its highest flu positivity rate in 3 years.
If we look at this flu season in retrospect at the end of the year, and we're going to compare it to an average flu season in Canada, this will likely be a much more challenging one. Sadly, more cases, more hospitalizations, more bad outcomes. It's probably going to shake out to be one of those. Kind of not surprising. We look at the Southern Hemisphere as an imperfect barometer as to what our flu season is going to look like. And Australia had one of their worst flu seasons on record as well. It's shaping up to be a nasty one here in Canada.
Doctors say the flu season will likely peak over the holidays. Nationally, nearly 28% of tests came back positive for the week ending December 13th. Widespread activity was reported in 11 regions in 5 provinces. And the flu is running rampant because it is so cold out there.
People are indoors.
Huddled
the same air
together, and it's going to remain that way for the next
Yes, it is. It looks as though we start to get a little bit of relief into the weekend, early part of next week. But in between there, it's Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, Boxing Day, lots of family gatherings, so please be careful. We'll talk more about that forecast in a little bit. Let's check some numbers. Currently, it's minus 20 degrees in Saskatoon, minus 19 with some flurries in Prince Albert, minus 19 as well in the Battlefords. And as you can see, moderate winds, and so those temperatures, those core temperatures feel a little bit cooler. Taking a look at what's going on for our almanac. Well, Saskatoon's our high was around 7 in the morning. That was minus 17, not much of a high. Minus 20 degrees, our current temperature. That's our 24-hour low so far. Minus 10 and minus 21 are typical for this time of year in terms of highs and lows. 6 is the record warm temperature from 1936. The record cold temperature, minus 44. And that was from 1892. The sun went down at 4:57.
Thank you, Jeff. Coming up, looking back on the year in policing with Saskatoon Police Chief Cam McBride. And later, Sid the Kid makes more NHL history.
CTV Your Morning Saskatchewan is on holidays. On behalf of all of us, we wish you a safe and Merry Christmas. We're back Monday, December 29th.
Let's take a look and see what's going on through the live lens of Skycam. And as you can see, it's looking pretty nice. You know, once again, looks can be deceiving. It is cold out there. But right now we have dealt with the snow that was falling earlier today. We still have some snow moving through parts of Manitoba into northern Ontario. And then we have another one that's brewing up. Ken mentioned that there's a great deal. I think it's like 40 million Americans or Californians and some Nevadans are under flood watches because of the atmospheric river hammering parts of Northern California. It's really quite powerful. So we'll have to keep our eye on that. And we've still got a lot of moisture hitting parts of our west coast. So yes, some parts of North America still dealing with some pretty inclement weather. Minus 20 degrees in Saskatoon, minus 19 in Prince Albert, and the Battleford, some flurries in the Prince Albert region. Cornac was the hot spot today at 0 degrees. Uranium City, the cold spot, 44 degrees colder than Cornac, yes, at minus 44. Around the province you go. Currently, it is minus 21 in Lloydminster, minus 20 in Swift Current, minus 17 in Regina and Yorkton, minus 11 in Estevan. Into central Saskatchewan, temperatures ranging not all that much, but minus 16 degrees right now in Wynyard. It does cool off to minus 23 in Waskesiu. Well, that's 7 degrees, but most locations are sort of hanging around that minus 20 degree mark. Making our way up north, well, it is minus 34 in Stony Rapids. So cold, the Collins Bay automatic ain't working. Minus 31 in Key Lake, minus 27 in South End. The warmest it gets on this part of our map, minus 23, and that's in La Ronge. Down south, we have temperatures in the high to mid-teens for most locations. Minus 22 right now in Leader. It does warm up to minus 12 in Cornac and minus 13 in Broadview, but generally in and around that minus 17 or 18 degree mark. Now on to our future cast. So that one system moves out, and another one's starting to show up a little bit, but what is of greatest concern is the cold temperatures. We have cold weather alerts in place for northern Alberta, Saskatchewan, and Manitoba, and for a good chunk of Saskatchewan, including Prince Albert, Saskatoon, the Battleford, Thunderbirds, Melfort, Tisdale, Nipawin. So many places dealing with cold weather alerts right now. Minus 22 degrees in La Ronge, minus 32 in Stony Rapids tomorrow, minus 23 in Buffalo Narrows, minus 27 in Key Lake. Temperatures hanging around minus 20 for Meadow Lake and Spiritwood, minus 13 the expected temperature in and around Kindersley and Rosetown under cloudy or mainly cloudy skies. Mainly cloudy conditions and 2 on the plus side in Maple Creek, minus 7 in Leader, minus 12 in Outlook, and minus 1 with windy conditions in Speedy Creek, minus 17 in Yorkton, minus 11 in Regina, minus 6 in Moose Jaw, and minus 11 as well in Estevan, and minus 18 degrees in both Melfort and Hudson Bay, minus 17 in Humboldt, minus 15 in Watrous. On to our detailed forecast for the Battlefords, dropping down to a cold minus 30 with frostbite in minutes for exposed skin. A risk of frostbite still tomorrow with a high of minus 20 and staying on the cold side of seasonal right through the holidays. And we've got ourselves minus 15 on Christmas Day. For Prince Albert, minus 30 overnight, minus 19 tomorrow, so staying quite cold. Minus 19 again on Wednesday, so Christmas Eve minus 19. Christmas Day minus 13. Boxing Day a chance of flurries minus 16. A little less chance of flurries on Saturday and minus 17. Minus 29 with clearing skies and frostbite in minutes for exposed skin, and that lingers into tomorrow with a high of just minus 16, so about 6 degrees below seasonal. Minus 19 on Christmas Eve, minus 12 on Christmas Day, so close to seasonal with a 40% chance of flurries, 70% chance of flurries on Friday, minus 13 degrees. We finally get some relief on Monday with a high of minus 6. Avatar, Fire and Ash was #1 at the box office over the weekend, but it debuted with only $88 million US across North America. Analysts had predicted an opening weekend of as much as $125 million, and its estimated cost to make $400 million bucks. It was followed by the animated biblical adventure David, which had about $20 million in ticket sales, followed by the adaptation of The Housemaid starring Sydney Sweeney and Amanda Seyfried.
Christmas. Oh, I can't wait to see those faces.
I love that song. Sadly, British musician Chris Rea has died. He was best known for the holiday hit Driving Home for Christmas. Rea's commercial success rose in the 1980s with hits such as Fool If You Think It's Over and Let's Dance. A statement from his wife and 2 children says he passed away peacefully following a short illness. Chris Rea was 74 years old.
I've loved every single person who works here because they've done so much for me, especially my boss.
Oh, your boss. There she is.
Bowen Yang bid an emotional farewell to Saturday Night Live with music and laughter and help from his wicked buddy, Ariana Grande. Yang starred in the night's final sketch, playing a retiring airport lounge worker working his final shift on Christmas Eve, serving eggnog to travelers. He sang Please Come Home for Christmas and was joined by Grande, the night's host, and Cher, its musical guest. He declined to share his reason for the mid-season departure, but it was suspected he might even leave earlier than that.
All right, Jeff, you have some frosty photos for us on this frosty day.
That's why we're going to start off with a recap. On Friday, I could not remember what Cam Parker told us, what the name of his dog, what the breed of dog that his dog Coda was. But Coda is a Border Collie Shepherd cross. So, and obviously, Coda likes the snow. All right, here's our new one from today. Patsy sends us this one. Hi, hello, Jeff. I took this picture on my way home from Rosetown around the Herschel area. The sun was so brilliant, it was hard to look at. And yep, it was a really cold day, hence the beautiful sundog. And shortly after taking the picture, the song Baby It's Cold Outside came on the radio. Woohoo! Wow. Serendipity, all right then. Thank you, Patsy, for that. Our next one comes to us from Margaret. She's a regular contributor. I love this shot. Winter pictures, well, she sent us a bunch called Winter Pictures, but this is the one we liked the best, and it is a very nice shot. And finally, Denise sent us a picture taken at Langham Farm on December the 19th, and Denise writes, hello, this is Benny, my snow partner, loving his job. I bet. All righty, if you'd like to send us a picture of a pooch covered in snow or something else, well, you can send it to Pick of the Day at cfqcnews@ctv.ca or scan the QR code on the screen.
Still to come on CTV News, looking back on 2025 with Saskatoon's Chief of Police. And later, checking in on the Saskatoon Blades at the halfway point of the WHL season.
I am here now at Saskatoon Police Service Headquarters, and I'm joined by Chief Cam McBride in his very nice office here. And I'm on your turf now so that we can look back at the year that was. 2025 has come to a close. So let's go right into it. The year in review. How was 2025 for the chief of the Saskatoon Police Service?
Yeah, you know, I've been telling lots of people 2025 has been 90% amazing, fantastic, with 10% really, really challenging circumstances for a variety of reasons. And so, yeah.
Okay, well, that's simple. That's numbers. That gives me an easy follow-up, which is, let's talk about that 10% then. What are some of the things you look back on and think, man, for these last 12 months?
Some of the challenges have been staffing, for one. I've felt throughout the year that our frontline staff have been really challenged in terms of the number of individuals doing the work. I felt like, you know, they've been working really, really hard without much of a reprieve. I've also, of course, been dealing with some disciplinary issues that have been in the media. Those are always hard. There's a person at the end of every disciplinary issue, which I take very seriously. And so that's been a struggle as well. And then, of course, we deal with some very, very tragic things within policing. And so even though I'm predominantly working within the administration end of things or within the community development end of things, still those really sad, sometimes devastating stories really weigh on a person. And so that would be part of that 10%. For
okay,
sure.
let's stay with that 10%. The addictions issue has been there all year for a few years now, and it doesn't really appear to be getting any better so far. Any thoughts on that? Maybe I don't know if there's a change in strategy, something to, because the status quo doesn't seem to be making any headway. Is there a way that we can maybe take some of that 10% and turn it to the other side?
Great question. You know, traveling across Canada, speaking to my colleagues within policing, we're seeing it across the board from coast to coast. Yeah. And there are strategies that are being developed all the time. Some unsuccessful, some yet to be tried. Definitely the provincial government coming out with their compassionate care legislation and looking to the future and what impact that may have, I think will be important moving forward. And I think just developing an all hands on deck approach, understanding what works, what doesn't work is so important. And I can say for sure that many of our community-based organizations, you know, people doing that type of work are feeling the pressure, feeling the stress. And so, you know, maybe bolstering the group of people doing the work is going to be very important too moving forward, because you can only go flat out for so long before, you know, you need a break or you break.
Okay, before we head to 2026, let's talk about that other 90%, the amazing, the mostly positive part of the year 2025. Care to elaborate on some of those wins?
I'd love to. You know, our service does incredible work. We've got individuals, investigators, support staff, professionals doing amazing things. I'm thinking about, for example, the call or the case of voyeurism, a prolific offender in Saskatoon, and being able to identify you know, numerous victims, identify the suspect, put the entire case together, and bring it to court. Amazing. Another one, the GPS trackers that we had in Saskatoon. There's another one, multiple victims, very, very complex type of investigation, and yet we brought it all together. And then the woman in the well, you know, that was a real success story. One of our oldest unsolved homicides, our oldest unsolved homicide, and utilizing new technology, new techniques, collaborating with the Toronto Police Service, and finally coming to the point where we can say, beyond a doubt, who the individual was, restoring her to her family, restoring that part of their family tree that they didn't even know existed in many respects. So yeah, so many good things going on.
Okay, well, let's look ahead then to many more good things, hopefully. 2026 lies ahead. It's laid out before us now. Any hopes and dreams? What are you looking forward to this year?
I'm looking forward to following through with those things that were promised in our budget. When I came out of budget deliberations with council, somebody asked me, how do you feel? And it was my first time as chief going into a 2-year budget deliberation. And I felt a tremendous sense of relief that it was over, but I felt a tremendous weight of responsibility knowing that within that budget, there's a lot of work that needs to be done. And so making sure that we tackle that head on, that we're resilient and deliberate and following through on those things that need to be done, that's 2026 for me. We've got a solid strategic plan. We're working to finalize our business plan. And so, yeah, 2026 is going to be a year of hard work, but I'm so optimistic. I really think it's going to be a turnaround year in many ways.
All right, we love to see the optimism. Chief of the Saskatoon Police Service, Ken McBride, thank you so much for a few minutes. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and here's to a great 2026.
Merry Christmas.
Still to come, a special guest takes some of the load off at the Jim Pattison Children's Hospital.
Welcome back. Time to take a look at the road forecast for tomorrow. And temperatures are going to be cold again. Not quite as cold in Kindersley and Outlook. Those, close to seasonal. That's still below seasonal, but not the -21s that we're expecting for Lloydminster and Meadow Lake. We're also expecting cold conditions around Melfort and Hudson Bay, -18 degrees tomorrow. And any kind of a light breeze will certainly make that feel colder. And as I mentioned, currently we're dealing with some extreme cold warnings right now. As we make our way into southern Saskatchewan for tomorrow, look at that. Plus temperatures for Maple Creek and area. East End, -5, -3 in Assiniboine and Rockland. But there's enough places out there on the minus side of the double digits there. We've got ourselves Kenora at -18, -12 in Pilot Butte and Broadview, and -14 in Carlisle and Rosetown. Now, what about Lashburn? Well, we're expecting 20 degrees on the minus side for Lashburn tomorrow. Winds out of the north at 15, so that will feel closer to -29 degrees. Just a reminder that I believe, I want to say it's January the 18th, the anniversary, or rather the 50th anniversary edition of Telemiracles coming up, and they're doing a special volleyball and silent auction event in Lashburn. So keep that in mind. And Lashburn is one of those places where internet plans of up to 1 gig are available from SaskTel.
The Saskatoon Blades have been off since Thursday night. They closed out what's known as the unofficial halfway point of the season with a shootout loss to the Kelowna Rockets. Now, despite that loss, the Blades do have a 17-14 record, good enough for third in the East Division. They have the 6th best power play in the WHL, take the 7th fewest penalty minutes. One highlight from the first half was Zach Olsen becoming the 13th Blade to score 4 goals in a single period. In the playoff, if the playoffs were to start today, the Blades would face the Oil Kings in the first round. Saskatoon will play a home-and-home with Regina, starting at SaskTel Centre on Saturday, December 27th. And it was a low-scoring affair on Saturday night at SaskTel Centre as the Saskatchewan Rush head into the holidays with a 2-1 record. Zach Mans started the scoring for the Rush just over a minute into the game, but the score was only 3-1 at halftime, and the Rush managed to hold Georgia off the scoreboard in the second and third quarter. Despite a late-game push, Saskatchewan did hold them off for that 7-4 victory. Robert Church led the way with 4 points. Frank Giuliano made 35 saves for the win. Next up, the Rush head to Halifax for the first half of a home-and-home against the Thunderbirds. And Sidney Crosby has added another historic milestone to his legendary NHL career. Crosby passed Mario Lemieux, becoming the Pittsburgh Penguins franchise leader in points. said the kid has scored all of his 1,724 points with the Penguins over the course of his 21-year career, putting him 8th all-time in NHL history. Let's take a look at local gas prices. Average in Saskatoon, we're currently at $1.37 a liter. That is up a little bit. Lowest price in town, $1.07.9, I guess is how you read it. On Saskatchewan markets, Cameco up $1.94 to $120.16. Nutrien up 37 cents to $86.20. Coming up, even animals get advent calendars, right? And then Santa makes a special stop in Saskatoon.
Hey there, it's Derek Jesney here with the Saskatoon Crime Stoppers. In Saskatoon, the holidays are all about coming together, neighbors, families, and looking out for one another. It's also a time when small acts of care can make a big difference in our community. Crime Stoppers is built on that idea. Everyday people in Saskatoon doing their part to keep our city safe. If you see something that doesn't feel right or know something that could help solve a crime, you can share it safely and anonymously. Every tip helps. And during this holiday season, those simple actions help protect the places and people we care about. Just sharing information that helps police do their job keeps our neighborhoods safe and strong. So this Christmas, let's choose connection, responsibility, and looking out for each other right here in Saskatoon. And as always, if you have any information on any crime, past or present, please give us a call at 1-800-222-8477, or you can leave a tip online at SaskatoonCrimeStoppers.com. From all of us at Saskatoon Crime Stoppers, thank you for your continued support and being part of a safer Saskatoon. And from our family to yours, have a safe and happy holiday season. And remember, do your part to stop crime in our community.
Select Hair Services brought to you by Sage, the beauty bar.
All right, let's head to Berlin now. And the zoo in Berlin, where they are celebrating the festive season this month. Pandas, porcupines, lions, and camels, oh my, being treated daily with Advent-style sacks and Christmas tree-shaped goodies and other special holiday treats. Staff says the tradition adds a playful, festive twist to the animals' routine. So they get treats every single day.
There you go.
Have no idea why, and then they just cut them off.
Well, exactly. It's tough love. First we take Manhattan, then we feed the animals in Berlin.
Very good. All right. Santa made a very special visit this weekend. Of course, he's very busy this time of year at the North Pole, but Santa made the trip to Saskatoon to visit kids at the Jim Pattison Children's Hospital. Stirred up some excitement with gifts and holiday cheer. Cozy holiday movie night took place at the theater inside the hospital, along with Christmas sing-alongs, gingerbread house decorating, and snow globe making.
That's a fun day.
Wonderful. Big party.
All right, good stuff. And piano.
Of course.
All right, Liberace style. Hey, just before we go here, before we talk about the weather, thank you to Scott Smith. He dropped by the television station earlier today with some treats, some coffee, some Norwegian gasoline, as I like to call it. But, so some treats and things, and some coffee. So thank you, Scott, and thank you for being a loyal viewer.
Was a lifesaver. I'm not used to going all day long. I needed that little jolt in the afternoon.
Oh, good. Well, you might get this cold weather might keep you kind of brisk and awake there. Yeah, exactly. It might keep you livened up just to keep moving. Minus 25 with partly cloudy skies at 9 a.m. By noon, minus 22 degrees, winds out of the west at 20, so it'll feel closer to minus 30 or 31, and then minus 18 by 5 o'clock with mainly cloudy skies.
All right, bundle up, plug in the vehicle, and we'll be back at 11:30.